Cagayan Valley is a region found in the northern part of the Philippines. It is composed of 5 provinces: Batanes, Cagayan, Isabela, Nueva Vizcaya, and Quirino. Cagayan Valley is notable for several things. It has a country's longest river running in its center and flows down to the Luzon stream. For nature lovers, the Cordillera and Sierra Madre can be found in Cagayan. For hikers, Mount Pintuot in Nueva Vizcaya is a must-visit since it is considered to be one of the highest mountains in the region, along with Mount Dos Cuernos in Cagayan. Aside from the mountains, many people nowadays have appreciated the beauty of the province of Batanes. It has a rich culture which runs from their houses with their languages. With a picturesque view, Batanes is truly something worth going to. Experience the culture and breathe the saltiness of the ocean. Taking the majestic view through the peaceful island of Batanes. 2 of the most notable tourist spots in the region can also be found in the province of Cagayan: the Palawi Island and Callao Cave. Palawi Island is located in the small municipality of Santa Ana in Cagayan Province. It is a protected area and considered a national park, for it was declared in 1994 as the National Marine Reserve. Its waters is home to 21 commercial species of fish with 50 hectares of undisturbed corals. Meanwhile, located at the foot of Sierra Madre is the Callao Cave. It is the most accessible cave in the region. Its entrance is reached by climbing 184 concrete steps. One of the reasons for its beauty is it is composed of several chambers, each with natural crevices. But like any other regions, what sets Cagayan Valley are its people. Meet them and love them, and that's Region 2. Batanes is an archipelagic province in the Philippines, administratively part of the Cagayan Valley Region. It is the northernmost province in the country and also the smallest both in population and land area. Its capital is Basco, located on the island of Batan. Almost one half of Batanes is hills and mountains. Batan Island is generally mountainous on the north and southeast. It has a basin in the interior. Itbayat Island slopes gradually to the west, being mountainous and hilly along its northern eastern coast. As for Sabtang, mountains cover the central part, making the island slope outward to the coast. The islands are situated between the vast expanse of the waters of Bashi Channel and Balintang Channel, where the Pacific Ocean merges with the China Sea. It is rich with marine resources, including the rarest sea corals in the world. I'm Azada Nadine, and today, let's travel and discover the beauty of Batanes. The bestest way to reach Batanes is by air. The region has 3 airports, namely Basco, Tuguegarao, and Kawayan, servicing various airlines to and from Manila. By air, Manila to Basco and vice versa flights are offered daily by both Philippine Airlines and Skyjet Airlines. There, Tuguegarao is serviced daily by Philippine Airlines and Cebu Pacific Air flights. Daily flights from Manila to Kawayan. Isabela is offered by Cebu Pacific Air. Travel time is approximately 1 hour. Upon getting around in there, private van and car rentals are available around the region, as well as public modes of transportation. One can take a bus to move from one province to the other, or a jeepney and tricycle to get around towns. For its attractions and activities, Batanes has quite a few different heritage attractions, like Mount Carmel Chapel, House of Dakay, and Jura Fishing Village. For natural attractions, it has the rolling hills, Torongan Cave, and Itbayat Island. For built attractions, it has the famous Basco Lighthouse, Heidi Hills, Boulder Beach, and the well-known Honesty Coffee Shop. It is unmanned and always open, allowing the customers to get what they need and trusting that they do the right thing and pay right. For its accommodation, Batanes also has a range of it, whereas it has a budget range that you would spend less than 1,500 pesos per night. A mid-range where you could spend 1,500 pesos to 3,000 pesos per night. And a high-end where you could spend 3,000 pesos per night. Now let's move on to their food and delicacies. Like sopas, it is always a staple during fiestas or festivals. Next is pai or lobsters. They are abundant in Batanes, so a humongous one can be easily bought for as cheap as 150 pesos. Fruit crops such as wakay or sweet potato, dukay or yam, ubi or another type of yam, and sudi or taro. Last is the arayu, also called as mahi-mahi or golden dorado. Batanes celebrates special events such as Ivatan Festival, previously called the Payuan Festival, celebrated during June 19 to July 1. It features the unique practices in Batanes of voluntary working for others as one community. But what makes Batanes are its people, and Ivatans possess unique skills to be resilient with weather conditions of typhoon and drought in Batanes. They have built walls made of thick limestone and thick cogon roof for their houses. They also have acquired the skill of predicting the weather through the behavior of animals. Agriculture is the base of livelihood with self-sufficiency as the norm. Hence, no marketplace exists in the communities. The Ivatans are known for their oral traditions such as lyric songs, working songs, and legends, and that everyone is the beauty of Batanes. Cagayan is a province in the Philippines located in the Cagayan Valley Region and the northeastern tip of the Luzon. Its capital is the city of Tugigaraw. It is about 431 kilometers northwest of Manila and includes the Babuyan Islands to the north. The province borders Ilocos Norte and Apayao to the west, and Kalinga and Isabela to the south. Cagayan was one of the early provincias that existed during the Spanish colonial period, called La Provincia de Cagayan. Travel time by private vehicle is approximately 8 hours, and by public vehicle, well, it could take up to 12 hours. But the fastest way is through air that could only last up to 3 hours. There are 2 endangered indigenous languages in Cagayan. These are the Dupaninan Agta language with less than 1,400 remaining speakers and the Central Cagayan Agta with less than 799 remaining speakers, both of which are listed as vulnerable according to the UNESCO Atlas of the World's Endangered Languages. All remaining speakers of the language are part of the community's elders. Some of its famous tourist attractions and destinations is the Callao Cave, boasts of massive limestone formations, skylights, and a chapel. It is accessible by climbing the 184 cemented steps provided to reach the cave entrance. Daily circadian flight of bats from Bat Cave occur at dusk. Next is the Sierra Cave. It is a living cave found in Cagayan Valley. It is especially known for its many interesting and beautiful geological formations. fossils of prehistoric species can also be seen embedded in the ceiling of the cave. Among these fossilized specimens are the remains of marine creatures, such as shells, which may be taken as proof that the cave was once under the sea. The cave has been recorded as approximately 700 meters in length and is fairly easy to explore. But due to current threats to the limestone formations in the cave, visitors are allowed inside only if they are in the company of authorized guides. The town of Peñablanca in Cagayan is the caving capital of the Philippines, having more than 300 known caves documented by the National Museum. Next, the Palawi Island. It is the Philippine sailfish capital, famous worldwide for its abundant marine life. The Cape Engano Lighthouse in Palawi Island dates back to the Spanish regime and is the only existing lighthouse in the northeastern coast, with white sand beach, rich marine resources, and uncontaminated environs. It has been declared under coastal environment protection. Next is the Portabaga Falls in Santa Praxedes. It is one of the tallest falls in Cagayan, approximately 15 meters in height. It has man-made pools and picnic huts for excursionists. Next, the Igwig Calvary Hills. In the 11-hectare rolling hills are the larger-than-life-size concrete 14 stations of the cross, depicting Jesus Christ suffering before his death on Mount Calvary. The place also features a 3 centuries-old well, a Dominican convent ruin, and the scenic view of the Cagayan River, a setting of which resembles that of the River Jordan. And lastly is the Cagayan River. It is the Philippines' mightiest watercourse, the longest at 301 kilometers and widest river in the country. It's almost as far as the travel from Manila to Sagada. In here, you can try different water-related activities such as water tubing, boat rides, and cliff diving. Also, the famous lorong fish abound in the river during the rainy season, when the river is murky and the fishes swim upstream from the delta at Apari to spawn. For those looking for a place to stay and rest, Cagayan has a full range of accommodations, where they offer a budget range which is less than 1,500 pesos per night, and a mid-range that could cost up to 1,500 pesos up to 3,000 pesos. But if you want to go all out, then there's a high-end that costs at least 3,000 pesos per night. Now, let's go to their food and delicacies. One of the most palatable and sumptuous dish of Cagayan Province's cuisine is the pancit batil patong. Almost every nook and corner of the province offers this distinct noodle at a very affordable cost. Next is the longganisang tugigaraw. It is a non-sweet type, salty and garlicky longanisa, very similar to vegan longanisa or lukban longanisa. It is also known as longganisang ibanag, and it is famous in the region of Cagayan Valley. It is commonly made in Cara beef or Carabao beef. Last is their homemade milk candy, which is made from Carabao's milk. Cagayan Province is ranked as 4th with the largest population of Carabao. So it is no wonder that Cagayanons use Cara beef more often in their cuisines. Cagayan celebrates different festivals such as the Agaw Nak Festival, which is held during June 23 to 29. It is the celebration of the establishment of the province in 1583. Next is the Payat Sambali Festival, celebrated during June 23 to 30. Sambali is a war dance of tribes that were later on united and converted to Christianity through the intercession of the Lady of Payat. Lastly is the Bangkarera Festival. Celebrated every May 10, it is a Thanksgiving celebration that features an exciting boat race in honor of their patron saint, Saint Peter Telma.
Isabela, Isabela, uwe oh oh oh, uwe oh oh oh, uwe oh oh.
This premier province is one of the most progressive in the country, with Santiago City as the industrial center for Region 2 and Cagayan City, the commercial center. Isabela is also the second largest province in the Philippines. Isabela is known as corn and Munggo capital of the Philippines. The province has known as Rice Bowl of the North, for it has remained the country's top corn producer and second in rice. Tagged as a hybrid rice champion and considered as the most outstanding province of food security. It is far progressing in terms of trade and industry, true to its name as Regional Trade Industrial Center for Northeastern Luzon. It is the only province in Northern Luzon to be included in the list of richest provinces in the country. Isabela is in the middle of the Cagayan Valley and the northeastern Luzon. It is bounded in the north by Cagayan, on the east by the Pacific Ocean, on the west by Kalinga, Apayao, Mountain Province, and Ifugao, on the south by Nueva Vizcaya, Quirino, and Aurora. The eastern and coastal area experience moderate rainfall, evenly distributed throughout the year. The western part has a wet and dry season. The province was carried by a royal decree from the provinces of Cagayan and Nueva Vizcaya on May 1, 1856. It was named after Queen Isabella II of Spain. Palanan Isabela became a historical place when General Emilio Aguinaldo was captured by the American forces led by General Funston on March 23, 1901. San Mateo, Isabela is the Munggo capital of the Philippines. The month of May is when San Mateonians harvest Munggo, and it's also when they celebrate the Balatong Festival. Isabela is proud of its own local product like Munggo chips. Munggo chips are wonderfully crispy but practically fat-free and full of healthy ingredients. They make for a great protein and nutrient-dense snack or appetizer. Province of Isabela is also known as the Corn Granary of Luzon, and it is considered as trade and industrial center of northeastern Luzon. Isabela is the top corn producing province in the Philippines, contributing 17% or 536,353 tons of the country's total yellow corn production. Monocropping of corn is predominantly practiced in Isabela, and there are two cropping seasons per year. Wet season cropping from May to August. Ilocano was the most prominent ethnic group in Isabela, with a total household population of 68.71% classified themselves as Ilocanos. The next two prominent ethnic groups were Ibanag, with a population of 14.05%, and Tagalog with 10.02%. The remaining 7.22% were either Gadang, Paranan, Yogad, or were from other ethnic groups. How to get in Isabela Province? From Manila to Tuguegarao, you can travel by land, air, and via private transport. By land, take a bus via Sleeper Florida liner to Tuguegarao with the assumption time travel of 12 hours. By air, take a local flight via Cebu Pacific or Philippine Airline to Tuguegarao. Once you're in Tuguegarao, take a WCC or North Sky plane to Palanan. From the town proper in Palanan, make your way to your selected accommodations. via private transport. If you are in a private plan, you can take a boat from various ports like Dingalan, Valor, or Disalak in Aurora to Palanan, Isabela. From there, take a private boat to your accommodations. Food and delicacies of Isabela. Pancit Kabagan. Pancit Kabagan uses Mickey noodles made with red flour, tihiya, and eggs. It may either be saucy or guisado style, and some versions are topped with lechon karahay, or crispy pork belly, and stewed pork liver. Like all kinds of pancit, Pancit Kabagan has Chinese origins. It is said that a Chinese merchant settled in Kabagan, Isabela, married a Filipina, and put up a panciteria. He made his own Mickey noodles made with red flour, and the rest is history. Binalay Suman is a Filipino native kakanin, a delicacy of Isabela province, a glutinous rice flour dough formed into a rectangular shape of suman and wrapped in wilted banana leaves. Binalay is a simple steamed rice cake made with rice flour, water, and salt. When served, it is doused generously with latik. According to the locals, it is typically made and enjoyed every Holy Week. Dinengdeng or inabraw is a Filipino vegetable dish that originated from the Ilocos region of the Philippines. It is composed of different vegetables that are usually grown in one's backyard. This dish has a similarity with bulanglang and laswa. The obvious difference of dinengdeng is the use of fried or grilled fish. Another notable difference is the addition of bagoong isda. Rabong corn bibingka, a Bicol-type rice cake made from ground glutinous rice with labong, called rabong in Isabela and referred to young bamboo shoots and corn kernels. Festivals and special events of Isabela. A festival. In honor of their patron Saint San Pablo, the festival is aimed to showcase and promote the local cattle industry of the town of San Pablo. A survey revealing quite number of ranches in San Pablo led to the establishment of the Baka Festival. Held on January 15, it is expected not only to be the highlight of future patronal fiestas of San Pablo, but also to sustain efforts to promote the local cattle industry and the products that have been developed since the convergence project was located in the municipality. The festival is a fine time to see cowboys of San Pablo display skills that are reminiscent of the American Wild West. Binalay Festival showcases the binalay, a white cake that locals usually eat during Holy Week, as their symbol of the noble characteristics they aspire to have as individuals. Ilocos regard the white cake as a representation of the body of Christ and the laro as his blood. As part of their penitence during Holy Week, binalay is the only food they eat. Not surprisingly, they have named their town festivals after it. Cagayan Festival, a Thanksgiving celebration for the bountiful harvest in the city of Cagayan, also features the ethno-linguistic groups residing in the city. The city fiesta and the Feast of Our Lady of the Pilar are celebrated annually on April 10 to 13 and October 10 to 12 respectively. Since its conversion into a component city on March 30, 2001, the city government started to celebrate its founding anniversary with the conduct of Cagayan Festival aimed to preserve the rich cultural heritage of the city. It is highlighted by street dancing, beauty contest, trade fair, cultural parade, parlor games, free concert, band exhibition, and other variety shows performed by local and Manila-based talents as well.
The Ibanag language.
Ibanag,
Numbers.
taday, dua, alu, apa, lima, annam, pitu, walu, siyam, mafulo.
Greetings and phrases.
Mapia nga umma, Diyos ta umma, pia nga fugak, Diyos ta fugak, mapia nga gabi, Diyos ta gabi, pia nga aggaw, unsika, unasika mo, mapiaga pa, mabalo, wan, ari, kuya na mangihu, ani nga agam mo, takan si, so si, tagasitaw ka, jam mo, angayam mo, sitaw yori banyo, dyan na banyo, agi pigayaw, pakungan agafo, kumatam, nabadtuga ka na, hindi dukat ta ka,
Vocabulary.
ulo, mata, talinga, igum, simu, zila, lima, kuramay, ufu, buti, takki, puto, putu, agal, san, tulang, luwa, daga, rolay, babay, lalaki, yama, yena, wagi, kakay, kako, karuba, kofun, balay, afefek, fungan, zizing, lamesa, itubang, kutsara, tinidor, pulo, kwarto, kusina, makan, menum, deko, davun, danum, langi, kunam, kilkila, arugub, baju, uran, bilak, bulan, bitun, ayam, kitu, itaw, kazing, nuang, baka, kabayo, manok, mamano, manango, mula, lapaw, kaddo, fun.
The province of Nueva Vizcaya is named after the people living in the coast of Mar de Vizcayin, the Vizcayin province in Spain, a place of rolling hills and green plains surrounded by majestic mountain ranges, where clouds cover heights, rainforests, and cave systems provide ideal settings for nature trips, trekking, and mountaineering to challenge any adventurous spirit. Welcome to the naturally vibrant Nueva Vizcaya, where you find nature and all diverse cultures come together. From Manila, the Philippine capital city, air-conditioned bus lines travel daily is 6 hours 260 kilometers journey, earning the hidden treasure of a province. After the comfortable ride passing through the zigzag roads of the Banana Pass, where Filipino and American soldiers gallantly fought against the Japanese during World War II, they are now the threshold of what is known as Gateway to Cagayan Valley, the province of Nueva Vizcaya. The people of Nueva Vizcaya can trace their ancestry to more than 8 indigenous ethnic groups who first came to region thousands of years ago. The Gadang, who originally lived in tree houses and identified by dark-colored skin, the term Gadang means carabao hide. The Ifugao, from rugged mountains, who claim a wrecked descent from Kabunyan, the deities of the sky wheel. The Isanay, who were good in agriculture and handicrafts, the Bugkalot, known for their colorful attire, musical instruments, and wheel-wand sphere because of their head-hunting practices. The Kalanguya, Kankanay, Ibaloy, Iwak, and Ikalahan tribes who share the same basic cultures as the Igorots, hard-working people who spend their time tending the upon farms and garden with skills and handicrafts, making such as basketry and broom making. In the late 1500s, the Spanish colonizers arrived in Luzon to slowly establish their missionary territory. In 1841, the political military province of Nueva Vizcaya was created by Spanish royal decree, but over a century, its overall size was slowly reduced by the carving out new provinces by the government: Isabela in 1865, Ifugao in 1908, and Quirino in 1971. Today, Nueva Vizcaya comprises 16% of the total land area in Region 2. While counted as only one congressional district, the province has 15 municipalities divided geographically into the North and the South districts. Municipalities in the north are Diadi, Bagabag, Villaverde, Solano, Ambaggio, Bayumbong, and Quezon, while municipalities in the south are Bambang, Kasibu, Cayapa, Santa Fe, Aritao, Dupax del Norte, Dupax del Sur, and Alfonso Castañeda.
Ng hangin lumalamig, aking napapansin paligid kong bundok, napupuno na ng gubat, bumabalik ng yaman ng kalikasan dito. Nueva Vizcaya, Nueva Vizcaya, ng tubig tuloy-tuloy na mula sa batis at ang daloy ng ilog, binubuhay ang mga saka, bumabalik ng ikot ng panahon dito. Nueva Vizcaya, kapag kakaisa, pagtutulungan, unti-unting nabubuhay ang butil ng pag-asa dito. Nueva Vizcaya, Nueva Vizcaya, ng ibon sa liunang maayang panahon, buhos ng ulan, malayang rumaragasa, at muling sisikat ang haring araw dito.
The festival aims to conserve, preserve, and protect the almost forgotten Kalanguya cultural heritage, especially to the younger generation. Amidst modernization and high technology, slowly, the Kalanguyas are being recognized as a component for society's progress, and a feeling of brotherhood now exists between the two peoples. The festival also brought enormous progress and development in the town and its people's lives. The Panagyaman Rice Festival is celebrated to recognize the contributions and successes of small farmers who have been the backbone in the campaign for a hunger-free Philippines. Grand Amungan Festival was held on the month of May, and in this event seeks to gather the ethnic tribes of the province such as the Isanay, Ibaloy, Katlanguya, Iwak, Kadang, Bugkalot, Kankanai, Ifugao, including lowland inhabitants such as the Ilocanos, Tagalogs, and Pangasinenses, among others. Welcome to the province of Quirino. The youngest province in Cagayan Valley Region 2 consists of only 6 municipalities, namely Cabaragüis, Difon, Saguday, Aglipay, Madela, and Agtipunan. Quirino Province acquired its juridical personality as a result of the division of the province of Nueva Vizcaya on June 18, 1966. Under RA of 4734, it was named in the honor of the then President Elpidio A. Quirino. Quirino is a small province in the Philippines. It is one of the headwaters of the country's biggest river system, called the Cagayan River. With a total land area of 305,720 hectares, consisted of 6 municipalities, it constitutes 11% of the region's total land area.
Saan nakakakita katulad ng Quirino? Kanyang kapaligiran, lawak ng lupain, luti ang paligid sa liwang hangin, likas na kayamanan mula sa may kapal.
Quirino Water Sports Complex is a cluster of facilities strategically located at the capital town of Cabaragüis. Facilities include wakeboarding deck, wakeboarding main pavilion, infinity pool, alfresco restaurant, and hostels. Madela tourist attractions, Governor's Rapids, in Divisoria Sur is famous for its gigantic limestone formations which serve as a shelter for dumagats and adventurers. A tributary of the mighty Cagayan River, which is the longest river system in the Philippines. It was also awarded as one of the cleanest inland bodies of water in the region, best for boating, sightseeing, and spelunking.
Alon na mula sa mga ulap, dahon, puno, tumat sa puso ng bayan. Patis, ilog, alon na mula sa mga ulap, dahon, puno, tumat sa puso ng bayan.
Quirino Province Museum is also established in the municipality of Cabaragüis, which is the service center of the whole province. In this museum, the richness and diversity of history and culture of all tribes in the province of Quirino are displayed, kept and maintained in forms of various valuable historical artifacts.
Bagay-bagay, pamagayaw, kinamulwan, panagsasalo, pinagkakasisik, o Quirino, panagdadapo. Nabuot namin ang kasulog-sulugan, bayan ng Quirino aming napuntahan, tuwang-tuwa kami sa aming paglalakbay, yaman ng tanawin, handog ng may kapal. Saan nakakakita katulad ng Quirino?
Aglipay Tourist Attractions, Aglipay Caves and Campsite, promises a special venue for communing with nature. A series of 38 caves, 7 of which have been developed as tourist spots, located in the midst of rolling hills and verdant forests. The caves boast of peculiar characteristics of their own, such as underground spring and well, preserved stalagmites and stalactites. The caves interlink with each other and run to a depth of about 20 meters. The place is recommended for camping activities and outdoor functions, especially for big groups. It is located at Villa Ventura, Aglipay, Quirino.
Ito ang anisag-isag ng kaunlaran, kultura at talino sa Quirino aking napagdamnan. Patis ilog, talon na mula sa mga ulap. Dahon puno, lumat sa puso ng bayan. Patis ilog, talon na mula sa mga ulap.
There aren't a lot of big restaurants in Quirino, but there are several eateries serving specialties of the Cagayan Valley Region, including Isabella's Pansit Cavagan and Tugigarao's Pansit Batil Patong. Ilocano cuisine also seems very popular, including dishes like tinakdakan, an appetizer made of grilled pig's parts blended with pig's brain or mayonnaise, and igado, a meat dish made from strips of meat and other internal organs such as kidney, heart, and intestine. We also got to taste Quirino's version of tapoy or rice wine with a great view of Landingan viewpoint. One of the more unique food finds was Royal Tubikoy, a combination of tubig, bibigka, and tikoy. The native delicacy made of glutinous rice, coconut pulp, milk, sugar, cheese, and shortening is produced by R&B Bukuhan and Eatery. The local tourism of Quirino is planning to hold a food festival in early 2015 to identify more unique and local food specialties from the different towns. The celebration of the 40th founding anniversary of Quirino Province was held on September 7 to 11, dubbed as Panagdadapon Festival, an Ilocano word which means assembly. Gathers the Quirinians from Dipon to Nagtipunan to participate in the activities lined up for the week-long celebration. Panagdadapon Festival carries the theme I Love You Quirino, which symbolizes the unity of the Quirinians towards the development of the province. Pamadayo Festival serves as a motivation for better governance and public service, people empowerment, meaningful development in health, environment, and agriculture. It is celebrated in the municipality of Tifun every month of July. Ginamuluan encompasses all desirable, admirable traits, characteristics, and virtues of a Filipino who cares for the lives of their families and fellows and who has the strong and care for the general welfare.